Tonight, more than 7,000 people in Sumter do not have a voice on their city council. The last place candidate has repeatedly appealed and kept the winner from the 1st Ward City Council seat for 8 months. Our chief investigative reporter, Chris Joseph, is live tonight in Sumter City Hall. So, Chris, break this all down, explain the drama for us and how this is even possible.
Yeah, in many ways it's surreal, but state law says that the winner of an election cannot be sat until any appeal or challenge is handled. And in that scenario, normally the incumbent would just stay on and make sure that group of people or constituents has representation. But here in Sumter for the 1st Ward, the incumbent died days before the election.
You can go to the moon in less than a day. So why are we sitting here waiting for a whole area
7 months
not
later
to be served?
A group of concerned Sumter residents who call themselves the Squad reached out to WIS, frustrated that the northern part of the city, Ward 1, doesn't have a voice in Sumter's city council. Anthony Gibson won a runoff for the position in November, but he's still not seated.
It's totally unfair. It's totally unfair. Mr. Gibson did everything that he was supposed to do.
That's because last place finisher Reginald Evans challenged the race. He came in with just 62 votes out of 1,000, not making the runoff.
And Mr. Evans, if you see this, then you need to go and drop the charges.
Yes.
Let your conscience be your guide.
Yes.
Because it wasn't right to start with. And I'm Dr. Murphy. I'm not hard to find.
We don't have a picture of Evans we can use because he didn't respond to our request for comment, and we couldn't find any campaign website. Evans has appealed multiple dismissals, and the case is now in the hands of the state Supreme Court. In the meantime, state law on local elections keeps Gibson from being seated. Normally, the incumbent would stay on, but outgoing Councilman Thomas Lowry died days before the election.
It seems undemocratic, but it's the process. And we have to allow the process to prevail. And that's one of the things that we're trying to make and ensure that everyone understands that at the end of the day, he has a due process to be able to allow the court to hear his case, to allow his case to be heard at every level. But at every level, they're going to make a decision to show that the election was held in integrity. The election was held with all of the standards and the rights and the things that were supposed to be done.
Gibson's campaign manager says he's optimistic the situation will be resolved soon, but frustration from the Squad lingers.
I think that Mr. Evans, since he created this mess, then he needs to be the one responsible for cleaning it up.
A state law slowing the will of the people. Now, remember here, this whole process is eating into the term for Gibson. This election will have, or the seat rather, will be up for election again in 2026.
All right, Chris, and the question is, obviously, could this issue happen again somewhere else?
Judy, the short answer is yes. It's definitely possible. The way the state law is laid out is for local elections. If challenges take place, then yes, the winner could be prevented from taking that seat. Again, further frustrating the majority of the votes in that constituency. So it remains to be seen. Reporting in Sumter, Chris Joseph, WIS News 10.